Do you see yourself working with me forever?
What else is there to do?
What? What like career goals do you have?
I don't have one.
God damn! Really?
I could have sworn you known.
No.
Whew, God, that conversation's over.
Mona,
Yep.
you have an OnlyFans?
Yeah.
What the fuck, Mona? I never knew this.
It's weird.
How much money are you making on OnlyFans?
More than I make here.
What? I suck.
Yeah.
When do you think Felix is gonna stop pooping inside?
That's the thing is I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Don't Be Sour, the most annoying podcast in the world. This episode, big number 15, monumental one with none other than Miss Mona Rhazi. Hello, welcome.
Hello.
Where's your co-host? We have little Felix right there. Hopefully his eyeballs do not pop out during this episode. Now, I still cannot drink, by the way, but Mona apparently needs alcohol to get through this. She requested a shot.
Just one.
Just one?
One.
Okay, we're gonna fill this one up. So you got some 818 from Kylie Jenner, and I'm gonna take, I can't show you this yet, this is the new Maxx Ghost energy drink collab. Right here. Cheers.
Ooh.
Tell me what alcohol's like. I remember it so well. Oh, it's so good. Yours, maybe not so much. Let it flow through.
Okay.
Now, if you're new to the podcast, if you're new to Maxi Poo World, Mona is one of the many members on the team here at Dude Holdings, Sour Strips, Everforward, Maxx Worldwide Enterprises, but she's also the first employee that I ever had. Me and Mona go way, way back. So today we're going to dive into that. You excited?
Yeah.
You got to talk now. You got to talk up. Mona's a very quiet talker.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, Mona, tell me a little bit. Tell people who you are. What do you do in a nutshell?
My name is Mona Rhazi. What I do in a nutshell, I up until a few months ago, I pretty much ran overlooked everything that you did, business wise, even personal. As of recently, I'm just a operation or office manager of Sour Strips.
Okay, where did you come from?
Oh,
Tell us your background.
Okay, I grew up in Arizona, Tucson, Arizona. Lived there for about 10 years.
Is that where you're born?
No, I was born in Idaho.
Potatoes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Born in Idaho.
That's fate right there.
Yeah.
I've been calling it the Potato Nation. Idaho. Okay.
Born in Idaho, moved to Oklahoma, went to school in Oklahoma for a few years, moved to Arizona. From Arizona, that's where I moved to Virginia. That's where we met. And then that brought us here to Texas.
Wow.
Right.
Well, now we a little bit ago did a Q&A episode, the first one where we kind of told people the backstory of how we met. But why don't we kind of recap that?
Yes.
So tell how you came into the world that you're in today.
Okay, so my family moved to Virginia. My stepdad got a job opportunity in DC, so we moved to Virginia. I was a Bang girl, Bang energy drinks. So I had
How'd you get that?
I don't know. Back in those days, I was like, now fitness is just something I partake in, but like back then, fitness was something that I was very, very passionate about. So I had little sponsorships and things like that. At the time, Bang was one of them, and I had to distribute the products to different gyms. And so in the area, I obviously just Googled different gyms. District Barbell happened to come up, and that's where I, reached out, said, is it okay if I bring...
Wait, sorry, District Barbell is the gym that I was a co-owner of in Northern Virginia.
So I reached out to District Barbell's page. I believe Peter was running it at the time. And then...
Peter was one of the owners?
Yes. Peter...
People don't know. You got to break it down. People don't know.
Peter was one of the owners and one of my very, very good friends now. So I brought products in, and then I just started going to that gym. Peter and I got really close and introduced me to you, the rest of the gang in Virginia, and then we just went from there. It got to a point where you needed help with work, and I was in a position that I was not happy with my job, and like, hey, you need help? And
Mona just kind of came to the gym and then never left, to be honest. And at first, I've told the story before, but we're gonna act like people haven't heard all this. But so we had a big rule at our gym of no people besides close friends and owners in the back office. It was a crappy back office, but I mean, it was like our crappy back office, you know? And when Mona would bring these drinks, I was like, okay, she's cool, because it was like energy drinks. It was like a little RTD protein drinks. And then you just became friends really with Peter. Mm-hmm. And then you just slowly started squirming your way into the group.
Yeah.
Now, now that I realize it, did you have like you came into our friend group and you never like brought other people? Like what?
No, I moved to Virginia. I knew nobody.
Oh,
nobody.
So how soon when you came to our gym before, like how soon before that did you move there?
Maybe like a few. I had lived in Virginia and then I moved back to Arizona because there was nothing. I knew nobody. I didn't know what I was doing there. So I moved back to Arizona. I hated Arizona, so I moved back to Virginia. And at that time, I would say maybe a month or two before I got close to everybody at District. But till this day, I don't know anybody there except for the people that we had in our group. So,
man, who would have thought you come into the gym to give some energy drinks and proteins, and then you became best friends, and life did change.
Life changed.
Everyone life changed because you come in. You know, it impacted your life a lot. Impacted everyone else in our group. You know, Peter, who's one of our really good friends, you became fantastic, super close friends with, and you know, obviously you've changed my life in terms of all the businesses that I've done. It's always interesting to think back of like how things would have played out if you didn't meet this person or this person or didn't go to this event. And you know, I think about a lot of our history, and I'm like, man, if Mona never came into my life, I have no idea. Would I be where I'm at today? I don't think so.
And vice versa.
Yeah, it's super interesting. And then so kind of dive more into how you started working for me, with me. So it's been a long story.
Yeah, how long has it been? Almost 5 years.
It's a long process.
Now.
Yeah,
almost 5 years now. So it was a very, very. I remember you were here, or that you were here in Texas when you asked me if I would move to Texas. But prior to that, it was working was very, very, job was like very, very minimal because there was someone that was doing the customer service for Everforward at the time. So it just started off as me, you know, being put on the chats with manufacturers. And then from there, I took over customer service. And then what I loved back then was when we had launches, everyone would help. And it was just like, it was a fun thing to look forward to. We would launch, and then we'd watch the orders, print the orders, we'd pack the orders and eat pizza. And it was a very, very good time. So that led to I was picking up more responsibilities as far as, you know, just customer service. I think that's what all it was at the time, was customer service, packing
have
orders.
Much.
Yeah.
And so you had just left an administrative job doing like kind of finances?
Yeah, I was doing finance manager at an orthodontist office.
Why did you leave? You said it just didn't work out, but like,
yeah, it was just.
Did you get fired, Mona?
No, I did not.
Because you need to disclose that to your new employer. No. So if I had known, I needed to contact them and find out why you got fired.
No, it was just, I feel like the, is it healthcare? That kind of office environment was very, very toxic and very, very dramatic. I worked with all females. So it was very, very, very dramatic. And it was just not, it wasn't something that I wanted to do. I still don't know what I want to do in life, but that definitely was not it. So I was just, you know what, this is not what I want. And you asked me if I wanted to help, and I was like, you know what, yeah, sure. I had no idea what I was getting into. I had no idea what this world was. I had no idea what YouTube was at the time, other than looking at makeup tutorials. I had no idea that people were actually making a living off of it. People were literally like celebrities off of YouTube. So coming into this world opened my eyes in so many ways. Is like, oh shit, like Maxx is like, people really love Maxx. And whenever I would post that I was like at District Barbell, people from back home were like, oh my gosh, that's Maxx. I was like, yeah.
People like me. A lot of people hate me too.
Yeah, people love you. And it was just, from there, that kind of made me open my eyes to this whole different world. And it was a lot easier for me to jump into, like, you know what, like, I have faith in this man. Like, clearly he's doing something right. So I had no issues, you know, putting my all into what you were doing.
So when Mona started, you know, life was it's wild. Like, you want to progress in business and, in life, you want to either, make more money in your job, build your company bigger. But sometimes we always joke about the district barbell days, we kind of call it, and those launches. And while they were significantly smaller than the shit we're doing now, like we're doing some like very stressful, high level stuff, that's having a bigger impact on the people that are, our consumers, right? But it almost seemed, more fun back then.
Oh, 1,000%. Like, so much more fun. Like, I think obviously it was just where everyone was at.
Yeah.
We were just
because now everyone's making more money, but like then it was just
just fun. Like, just even going to the gym, you just went because we were gonna see our friends and we were gonna play good music, have good workouts, and then go eat afterwards. And every Friday it was like a ritual. We would work out, go to the mall, eat, go to the candy store and watch a movie. And that was just our Fridays. And then Saturdays we'd all go to your place, get fucked up. And it was just so fun. And it was just like, how is it that we're boring now?
Why do you think when business was smaller, when we were all making less money, why do you think it was like, why do you look back and think it's like not like a better time in our life, but like it was so different. It was like a different world. It was like less stress.
We were younger, a lot younger. We were all single, or most of us were single, and it's just the responsibilities we had weren't like they are now.
It was minimal.
Yeah, very, very minimal. So we had more time, we had more energy to do those things, and like, I miss those days.
I know. We would have launches with Ever Forward and be like, woo, we got 1,000 orders. Like, yeah, let's pack them. We'll order some candy or order some pizza. And we just had all of our friends. And, now it's every launch is like stress. And then like it launches, we're like, okay, it did okay. Like, all right, what's the next one? Stress.
Yeah.
And it's kind of wild. And so you started as Mona's main purpose when I hired her on, outside of just helping me pack orders, was to help organize my life. Because I'd been doing everything at the time, and I needed someone, Christian for a long time was saying, hey, Max, you should have someone help you. Like, it's good to spend some money and have people to help. And you help initially like organize with manufacturers, and kind of, I would talk with my manufacturers. Mona would then look at the chats, because you would use like WeChat and WhatsApp. And then Mona would kind of take the key points of, okay, we ordered this sample. Okay, this sample is going to start on this day. So then I could look back and understand timelines of everything. And then everything started evolving. And then I decided I'm moving to Texas. And you were very open to it. What kind of went through your head when I asked? It was interesting. I think we actually have it like almost on camera. I think we were outside of like the burger place at Tyson's, and I was talking about how Kevin might move, and then I like brought up to you, and you're like, I'd move to Texas.
Yeah, because I remember, like I said, you were here already, and you brought it up. You texted me like, I'm moving. Would you be open? I was like, yes. And at that point, you were like, okay, well, this is when I'm looking to move. You could fly out at this time to look for a place, and then we'll go from there.
Why were you so open to move to Texas?
Because it was just, what do I have to lose? I hated Virginia. There was nothing that I liked.
I love Virginia.
It was cold. I'm not from there. There was nothing there for me. But again, it was just, what was there to lose? I was just,
because you didn't really know that many people in Virginia.
I didn't know anybody there. I was just there for a few months before I met you all. And it was just, like I said, I believed in what you were doing, and I was just like, what? Like, what's the worst that can happen? It doesn't work out. Okay, well then I'll go home. But at that point, I had nothing to lose, and like I said, I believed in what you were doing. So I was just like, let's do this.
Why did you believe in what I was doing?
I don't know. It's just because at the time, like everything that you were doing, you did it and you did it well, and you had a vision and you saw it. And then I think what it was that like hit home for me was just how your message, like everything with Ever Forward and your dad. So knowing that your dad passed away, my dad passed away as well, and that was just something with Ever Forward, it was like something that was so meaningful for you that related to your dad, and that's what I admired so much. And then that was like, this is why he's doing it, and if I could, I would do the same thing. So that was a big reason why I was just like, you know what? Yeah, let's go.
And to be honest, like Mona moving to Texas was a big ask for me, because when I first knew I wanted to move to Texas, I talked with Christian, and he basically said, like, you should move here. You should like build out a team. I don't know who his kind of like right-hand person was at the time. And he was like, you know, you can find, you know, someone that like this for me, like to help you and just find them here. And I was like, well, I think like, you know, Mona, this girl that is working with me, I think she'd be down to move. And he wasn't like anti doing it, but he's almost like, you know, hey, instead of asking this person to move their life, like it's early in your phase in the work world, right? Like, why don't you just kind of end that and move here, start fresh, find someone new who already lives here and kind of start fresh. And, you know, at the time Everforward was at an interesting point. It was growing and it was doing well, but like I knew everything that needed to be done to manage it. And it was kind of like simple. And I didn't have like that much work for you to do. And I think when you moved here. I don't mean to
interrupt you, but this is like going in and out when you're talking.
Oh, just kind of take the cord and like kind of put the cord like in your lap where the end is connected. And I think it's like on that little metal thing, and does it sound a little better?
Yeah.
Okay. Technical difficulties. And when you moved here, I'm pretty sure, like I'll be transparent. I'm pretty sure I was told Mona, I was like, I think I could only pay you, I think it was like $12 an hour.
Yeah.
Or something. I mean, it was, you had just, maybe, how long have you been working with me? A couple months?
No, I think at that point, maybe like 8 months, almost a year.
Okay. And, you know, and again, it was just, I need you to like pack some orders. It was a very simple task, and Everforward wasn't making like that much money, but it was more like we had started our work relationship, and I was like, I can find someone to do her task here. I like what we've kind of like established so far, but like I can't pay her a ton of money. So I was like, this is what I can offer you.
Yeah. It wasn't much.
It wasn't a lot. And people probably like, what the fuck, Max?
Yeah, no, it was
like 12 or $14 an hour.
I don't even know if that was minimum wage.
Hell yeah. What are you talking about?
I don't know.
Minimum wage is like $7 or $8.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that low?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. But it was definitely not like, it was very, I don't know. I said, fuck it, let's go.
Yeah. And you moved, and we started the warehouse, and kind of, so explain how your job roles have evolved from Virginia so what you did in Virginia, and then when we moved to Texas. So it kind of explain, we talked about what we did in Virginia, help with organization. When we moved to Texas, got a warehouse, what was your role then?
Oh gosh, when moving to Texas, I took on pretty much everything Everforward. So I was packing all the orders, and unless it was a launch, and obviously we brought more people in, doing all the customer service. I took over more of the manufacturing process. I was talking to them a little bit more. And then that kept me busy for that time. And I was doing a little bit more of your personal things, like, basically a personal assistant, booking your appointments, doing things like that. And then when you had the idea for sour strips, that's kind of when things started picking up. You were like, you know what, we're going to do the candy thing. And then it started as Project XX.
Yeah. But before we get to sour strips, so in the warehouse, you were running the warehouse. Mm-hmm. So Mona, I mean, I would get on Mona of like, hey, why isn't the inventory up to date? Like, hey, it says we're out of like XL t-shirts, there's XLs back there, like, Mona, and like, hey, we need to clean up. So Mona was doing like a warehouse job for a while. Yeah. And I tried my best, because again, I never had an employee. Mm-hmm. So I didn't know how much to pay someone. I didn't know what job titles I was supposed to do. I didn't know how to be like appropriate in the workplace with someone. I'm like, okay, like, what can I say? Can I joke around? I have no idea. And I was learning, and your roles kind of quickly evolved, and your pay, went up on a very quick basis as we kind of grew up. Because to be honest, I was just trying to kind of filling your time with as much things as I could think of, because with Everforward, it's like there was and there wasn't endless things to do. And how did you feel when you were like working like the warehouse stuff? Did you like it? Did you not like it?
I mean, who wants to be in a warehouse?
Hot warehouse.
It was hot. I mean, I didn't hate it. It was just part of my day. It wasn't anything that I didn't think twice about it. It was just my job. So I didn't think like, oh my gosh, I hate this. Obviously, it wasn't my favorite thing to do, to be in that it was either hot or it was cold. It wasn't ever
Yeah.
nice in there. So that's why I did everything first thing in the morning. But it's like I said, I didn't hate it, but it just obviously wasn't like my favorite thing to do.
And so with Everforward, I mean, for a long time, Mona and I it was just us. We were doing everything, obviously with Everforward. And then I started asking you to, do like a lot of personal things, very assistant-like. I think I'm actually titling this podcast like Interview with My Assistant, but you're not my assistant. No. You never really meant I don't know how that kind of evolved. It was more just like I just gave you work to do to fill time, whatever it was.
Yeah, and as the businesses started growing, it's just I never let go of said tasks. It was just something that was always added onto my plate.
And Mona never, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but you never were like, Max, like my job is this Everforward thing. I'm not doing this other thing. Mona's never said no to anything that I've ever asked her to do. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Probably a bad thing because you probably.
I think it got to be a bad thing when my plate just became overwhelmed.
So you took on Everforward for full time, and as your career has expanded, then we started Sour Strips. What has your role kind of evolved to in the beginning of Sour Strips to now?
In the beginning of Sour Strips, it's like weird to think about how Sour Strips was because it was Project XX and we were packing these little boxes to send out to influencers. And I remember doing these little boxes and putting them in the side room and just seeing that room just filled with boxes for influencers. And then it launched. And then I was like, oh shit, like it did really well. And then I was like, okay. And then in the beginning, I wasn't really doing much with Sour Strips. Because you wanted to be more hands-on with the social media, the customer service. You were doing all the, the wholesale or the few wholesale that we had at the time. And then as it started growing, you took on just the social media, and then I took on the wholesale orders. I don't think I ever did customer service for Sour Strips.
Yeah, no, I did it for the most part until we hired Nick. And I think the thing with Mona and I is we never, something that was probably like our fault is because we started everything kind of when it was a calmer point of my life and our life. As we scaled, not once did we really think of, hey, we should probably get like some other people to help us. It wasn't until it almost got overwhelming when we had two businesses running and we were just getting completely, drowning in work. But at no point when we started Sour Strips, when I had the idea, like not one part of the conversation was like, should we hire someone else to help like with the launch? It's like, no, we can do it.
Yeah.
We pack orders, bring everything in. We just bring people in launches, and then it just started evolving. So, and then from there, kind of explain from after the start of Sour Strips up until now. Of your roles.
So I took on doing the wholesale. So I was doing distributor orders, things like that. And that in the beginning, it wasn't a lot. So I was still able to balance Everforward with Sour Strips. And then as we started to grow, as we started to get more employees, and then we got the whole warehouse, the actual Sour Strips warehouse, that's when things started to pick up because our orders were getting larger. We started getting more clients, bigger clients at that. So that part of Sour Strips started to build. Yeah. And that's when Everforward kind of, started slowing down. Our focus shifted heavily to Sour Strips, and it's just been like that since. So now my main focus is Sour Strips and getting together the wholesalers and doing all the shipments and retail, all that fun stuff. Yeah,
and it took Mona and I working together for 4 to 5 years to really start having focus in Mona's role specifically. And it's just how things worked, because up until 3 months ago, Mona was still very much like, if I needed a doctor's appointment, my toll violations, hey, I need a pest control for my house. Can you call? And it's actually funny because I used to make fun of like Christian forever ago. I'd be like, hey, when are you flying in to like visit me? And he'd be like, oh, ask so-and-so for like my flight. I'm like, you can't book your own flights. And now I was asking Mona to do all these things. And it was because I was like, hey, I want to focus on other things. I just want like, Mona, can you handle these tasks? And she was like, yep. She also was handling Everforward and doing the Sour Strips. And your plate was building and building and building. And something that I kind of came to a realization as a boss is that it took me a long time to realize that I was asking too much of you. And a big problem that I have, not had, but still have, is I don't understand the full boundary of people's personal life. And I think that was something that I was doing with Mona as she started getting into a serious relationship that she's still in now, is that, with Mona and all my employees, I guess I don't think about it, and it's a bad thing on my end, of any time of the day, I'll text someone to ask them for something, or it could be in the middle of the night, or like, hey, on the weekend we got to do this, or after hours, like with this. And I had no respect for anyone outside of work hours, because I was just like, what? We got to get shit done. And I forget that everyone doesn't have the same mindset as me with the businesses, because they are my businesses, and that I need to I never let people have like a separation. And I was asking so much of you, and it wasn't until we had a big conversation where I kind of came into you, and it wasn't a Mona's, like, I got too much shit going on. I sat down with you, and what was it, how did the conversation go of kind of like taking roles away from you?
I was like, I think I was like kind of blinded by it. First you sat me down and you apologized, which I didn't need an apology. It was because at the end of the day, it was my fault just as much as it was yours. But it was, you started the conversation as, I'm taking Everforward off your plate. And I was like, what do you, it was like, what do you mean? And it was kind of like a hard pill to swallow. It was just like something that we kind of both knew needed to happen. But it was just actually, making that happen.
Well, it's because Everforward was slipping because of the success of Sour Strips. And I put a lot of the, hey, pretty much run Everforward while I do high level stuff with Sour Strips to Mona. And when things would slip and the samples would slip, I'd be like, well, Mona, like, we got to stay on top of this. But I just never had this realization. I was like, I'm asking too much of this person. Like, I'm asking too much. I'm expecting you to do everything and my personal shit.
And I don't think that I ever thought of it that way until I got in a serious relationship.
Did they ever, like, they were like Maxx asked you to do like...
Well, the thing is, it's just, like I said, I never thought about it until I got into a relationship. Because now I live with my boyfriend, and so I didn't ever think twice about doing the things that you had asked me to do after hours, because whenever I left here, I just went home. So I didn't think twice to do it, because I'm like, okay, let me do it. But when you live with someone else, it's at that point, it's respecting their time as well. Yeah. So he never directly said anything, but I think I just felt like if we were doing, okay, hold on, baby, let me go do this really quick. And I didn't really, like I said, I didn't ever really think twice about it until. It was probably like, wait, I thought you're not working anymore right now. Like it's 7 o'clock at night. You'd be like, yeah, well, Maxx text me to ask me to do something. Or it's not even 7. Sometimes it'd be like 10 at night. Yeah. And just like, I never thought twice about responding until, like I said, a few months into my relationship, where I was just like, oh shit, like now I'm trying to respect your time. And then it's just like, how do I balance this? Because like I said, I've never thought twice about it up until getting in this relationship. And you never once was like, hey, Maxx, like, I'll do everything I can for you in the work hours. And if, shit hits the fan or we have a launch or something, I understand there's going to be times when I got to work later. There's after hour shit that is an emergency. But Mona never once, like, you never was like, Maxx, like don't fucking text me at 9 o'clock at night for something that can wait till tomorrow. Yeah, no, and it's just like I never thought twice about it until getting into a relationship. And so I think it was when I got in a relationship with Taylor. Yeah. I think it just really opened my eyes, and I was like, I suck, because I was doing it to all my employees. I was doing it to Oz. I was doing it to you. I think mainly to you two, because you're like the first employees that kind of came on, and I'm just like, well, Mona helps me run everything. Of course she'll at 8 o'clock at night, she's at dinner, can look up an email for me real fast. And I had no consideration of like your private life and with a lot of people. And so it was a big kind of eye-opening thing for me. And so I pulled Everforward away from your plate, which I know was like a kind of a hit, because that was what you started with. That was what we started with. And now it's like, I'm taking away the thing that I brought you on to do. And I also said, I am no longer going to ask you to do anything personal for me. I was like, I'm done. So I told, and so now what is your only focus? Sour Strips, basically handling all of the retailers, wholesale orders, distributors. I handle all that, setting up shipments, doing invoicing, finances for all that, and basically everything that the the offices need.
Yeah.
I'll take care
So
of.
now, but before we never had a role name for you, and now you'd be like an office manager. So yeah, so you handle everything related to warehouses, bills, leases, agreements,
Billing.
anything that has to do with the dude holdings thing. If it's, and it's interesting, if there's podcast equipment or whatever, I'm like, okay, we ordered something, Mona, I need you to return this because it's office related. But sometimes I'm like, I'll have something that I personally ordered. I'm like, well, she's already returned. I'm like, don't ask her to return that, Max. You can return that on Amazon. But in my head, I'm like, she's already returning
going.
stuff. I'm like, no, you're not gonna. And I think. So how do you feel now? Like, how do you?
It's weird. It's very, very. Sometimes it is weird because it's just for the entirety of our relationship. It was always like a Max and Mona thing. It was just for everything. It was just like, you know what, whatever. Like I already know what it is. I know how to handle all this. And I think it's also just where we're at in life. You are in a serious relationship, and so am I. And I think it's just how it was supposed to evolve. You, like, Taylor is probably taking on a lot of the things that I was just randomly doing. And
she wants to. I still don't let her. She's like, I can book your appointments. I'm like, I don't need you. I can do it myself.
It's not a bad thing on her end to do that. It's just something that you kind of just do as a girlfriend. So it is weird. It is weird sometimes.
Because before, whenever we would have a conversation of what does Mona do and what you tell your parents, and before it'd be like, depends on the day, like whatever, like I never know what's going to happen. And the last kind of chat about this is, I think that us having structure and us having be like, this is what you need to focus on, Mona, this is all you focus on. I think it's something that needed to happen as we get bigger. The way we were doing it, it was working, but I don't think as everything scales, it couldn't scale with this because we're only two people, and my brain runs a million miles an hour, and I would just keep asking you to do more and more and more, and you would take it on. But do you find any less enjoyment? The fact that now your days are more like, I know what I need to get done that day, rather than like, what adventures is Max gonna have me do today?
Sometimes, because it's just. It is different because 4 months ago it's like you'd be throwing some weird shit out there, and now it's just like my main focus is, okay, I know I got to get this Target shipment ready, and so it's not as exciting. But
do you like that I don't text you really after hours unless like there's a important thing I need right then?
It's weird. It's weird because it's just always just like I think prior I was always expecting, like I know Max is going to text at some point, or something's going to come up where he's going to. So it is very weird because I was doing that for 4 years. So it's just, it literally stopped the day we had that conversation.
I'm still not perfect. Every now and then I still text like some things that I need like an EIN number or something,
which is fine. I don't ever think twice about it. But
I've gotten better. I've gotten significantly better.
It's night and day difference. But it is weird, and it is because we talked literally all day, every day for 4 or 5 years. So it's kind of like, I don't want to say like losing a friend, but like kind of. Yeah. It's weird.
And what do you think about, we talked about kind of the EverForward was on the decline. Like, what are your thoughts about, I've made a lot of YouTube videos about how Sour Strips took over EverForward because you've, from an insider perspective and someone who's been, a core part of the brand, what are your thoughts on what's happened with EverForward now that Sour Strips is handled, and why do you think it's declined? Just what are your thoughts?
I think it's declined obviously because of the success of Sour Strips. It's just, how does someone have enough focus to put towards these companies? Like, Sour Strips is never ending at this point. Like, there's always something happening with Sour Strips. How do you have the time to put to EverForward? And it's just kind of at the point, it's just like, it's not fair. It's just how, and then it's just the fans and customers of EverForward, it's just, we're waiting on something, and it's inconsistent, and so it sucks. So it's always like, we've kind of like talked about it in the past, but never like a full conversation. Just like, at what point does EverForward go away? Does it ever go away, or is it something that it just kind of there?
We've talked about it. We've talked about, like, does it make sense to shut it down? Do you think that EverForward was a stepping stone to lead to Sour Strips, or do you think that they can both still exist?
I feel like if we have someone dedicated to Ever Forward, it could do well. But until we find someone to do that, then it's just, there's so many. The fitness clothing companies it's just not, every day is something new.
Yeah.
So it's just until we have someone to focus and put their all into it, then I feel like I think it might die out.
And it sucks.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you've seen when like my only focus was Ever Forward, and then it shifted, and now EF has just been something that like I do the bare minimum effort to make sure that we have some stuff throughout the year. It's just not what it was. Why do you think that like do you think that I don't care about it anymore?
No, I think it's not your passion. Like as long as I've known you, sour candy has been always something that you have been very, very, very passionate about, and it shows. And
you know, what's super interesting is I look back to Ever Forward, you know, at its peak, and it's like we'll just go by revenue, right? Best revenue year ever. And that was me putting like my 100% effort into it. And then, you know, I would compare the success of Ever Forward to Alpha Elite, to Buff Bunny. You know, there wasn't as many competitors then. And I would always be confused. And I was like, I don't understand. Like I'm the people's guy. Like I'm like the relatable guy on YouTube. I'm the one standing and meeting hundreds of people. Like I'm like, why isn't my clothing brand as successful as the other people's? Like, what am I doing wrong? And sometimes I look back at it and I look at Sour Strips and I'm like, maybe I was never meant to
do clothing.
To do clothing. Like maybe it's just not like no one can sell clothing like Christian, you know? And I'm like, maybe the candy thing is like no one can sell candy like Maxx.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
I think it just comes down to what you're passionate about. And since I've known you, it's always been sour candy, and it shows in what you're doing. So,
but I still have such a like passion. I mean, I think you see me kind of get excited. Like I love the bags we're doing, the accessories, and I think the biggest problem with Ever Forward that we've had is that there wasn't like a core direction with the brand. We would have compression gear and button downs sporting the same logo. And I'm like, while I try to be like, oh no, it can work. But it's like, you know, are we a athletic brand or are we a casual J. Crew brand? And I think now what I want to do is have that direction to go towards the casual wear and really focus on it and have some athletic wear, but it be simple, clean, like classic items, staples, and then just kind of focus on what I like in terms of fashion. And and with Mona, she was like, my whole goal with Mona was I wanted you to like build the women's line, right? And we've learned that it's not easy.
No, I'm not a girly girl at all. I'm very, very simple and very basic. So that was kind of scary. Like, 'cause I'm just like, I don't fucking know like what a girl's like. I'm very, very, I don't like prints. I wear black every day. Like it's just, so that was like, oh shit, you know?
Is Felix still in your lap?
Yeah, he's asleep.
Okay. Felix just sits in Mona's lap for like 95% of the day. If he's not doing that, he's eating dude's food or barking at bugs or shitting on the carpet. Mona, really quickly, when do you think Felix is going to stop pooping inside?
He hasn't lately.
Felix has probably gone to the bathroom on my rug that I bought 12 times.
He's a good boy.
I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this little side segment from Ever Forward.
But this is like, I don't know why he does it. It's just, like, I think he's like mad at me.
Why? You don't know why your dog goes to the bathroom inside?
It's just
because he's not trained.
He is trained. Like he doesn't do this at home. He doesn't do that. I think he's just marking his territory when there's like dogs or other dogs here. Or he's mad at me.
Mm-hmm. At what point of how many times your dog goes to the bathroom on a rug that I bought, is it wrong of me? I need the people to decide. Is it wrong of me to ask Mona to replace the rug?
No, I said I would get the next time.
The next time he goes?
Yeah.
But let me ask you, is one pee on a rug that's not replaceable worthy, but 10 times is? Or do you think it's, hey, if my dog pees, I should replace that rug?
No, next time I will replace it.
Okay. What if he pees in the next one?
Well, then he'll fucking probably go like 10 because that's a new rug. So he'll probably.
Felix should get a job. Felix got to pay some rent in this motherfucker.
He's fine.
Okay.
He's fine.
Okay. He humps dude. He eats his food. Poops on the rug.
You make him sound like he's a terrible
Doesn't contribute
dog.
to rent one bit.
He's a good boy.
Okay. So your job roles have evolved a lot. Mm-hmm. Now the question is, do you see yourself working with me forever?
Forever, no. Because
What? What?
I mean, as much as I would love to, just being realistic, you know.
Let's talk about it. What are your career?
That's the thing is, I don't know. I don't know what I want to do forever. I don't know. I will.
What's your dream job?
I don't have one. I just want to travel.
You want to travel?
Yeah. I just want to go on vacation all the time.
Mona, you don't do shit. You stay in your house. You don't want to travel now?
Max, I like going to places.
When was the last time you went anywhere?
I went to Cabo like last month.
Mona's been on Cabo.
You know, but okay, because for the past 2 years, the world was closed down. But prior to that, I was going, I think I traveled a lot the year before pandemic happened. I was.
Okay.
I don't know what my dream job is. I love what I do. I don't think I have a dream job. I think I have just been so accustomed to like, okay, whatever Max's doing, like, let's make it happen.
What like career goals do you have? How do you find fulfillment? I want to say fulfillment in your job, in work, and like coming to work every day.
I think it's just kind of seeing the success of everything. It's just like, as a team, we collectively made this happen, and that's good. It's like we're in all targets now. Like that's a big thing. So, you know, just seeing little things. It's not little. Seeing things like that is just like, it makes me proud of like what we all do, and it kind of, I don't know, that I think as in long term, I don't know, like I will be here until
you find something cooler.
No, it's not, because it's just I'm not looking.
Yeah.
And nor do I want. I don't care to look. But it's just, I think that whatever we do, we will succeed in it. And I think it's just kind of finding. Whenever I find like my purpose in life is like when I'm like, okay, you know what, this is no longer. You know, it is my time to go.
It's going to be a shitty day when Mona. You know, I think you're supposed to give it a 2 week. I need like a 8 month. Okay. Yeah. I need like an 8 month. And one thing that I've told you that I try to stress is that like what's most important, and it comes with everyone. You're just a unique specimen because of everything we've kind of been through together. But I actually worried when you went from like whatever Maxx needs to have to do to this, like, okay, you're very focused. You're doing administrative work. Like, you know, there's like spreadsheets, invoices, you know, stuff like that. I was like, I think Mona might get bored of this. And something I've stressed before, and I'll stress to you again, is that like, what's important to me is that you're happy in working with me. And if you ever get to a point where you're like, Maxx, I fucking hate doing admin work. I don't like doing invoices. That day, I'm hiring someone else to do admin, and we'll find something new. So it's like what I try to do with you to make sure that you like find fulfillment in working with me is always make sure that you are compensated as we grow, and you know have the best work environment you could. Like you wouldn't want to work anywhere else. That's what I try to do with everyone. Yeah. But also make sure that you feel challenged as much as you can be with a job, but also like enjoy. So like, you know, the day that you're bored of the role that you're in, I'll switch that shit up. Like I'll switch it to someone else. Yeah, no, and I think it's just kind of understanding that the more we grow, like shit's going to become more corporate. You know, that's just the reality of the situation. And I think it's just something that I've accepted as, I don't hate it, you know. Is it my pride and joy to do spreadsheets and invoicing all day? No. But I don't hate it. And like I said, big picture, I enjoy what we're doing and how we've evolved. Yeah. Well, just the day, if you ever want to do something else, you just let me know. It's just like, what else is there to do? Man, there's always stuff to do. I don't know. You can be my personal videographer. You have a house. I know. I'm just kidding. Like, is the camera on? I don't even know how to use a camera. I don't know. How do you think our a big question that kind of comes up is about like our friendship dynamic in the workplace. Why do you think we work so well? You know, normally I don't think you should really hire friends because if something doesn't work out, you're probably not going to have that friendship, assuming it ends badly. You know, in a perfect world, it'd be end amicably. You know, but I think like why do you think we've worked so well of working side by side every single day and being so close while also same friend group hanging out together?
I think because when you hired me on, I don't think we were really friends. We were more of acquaintances.
Yeah.
So that was already a good thing. So we didn't have anything. If we were to cut ties at that point, it wouldn't be awkward because we didn't really have a friendship. I think we built friendship over time. We learned over each other over time. And I think our personalities balance each other out. You are very, 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 you know, out there. I'm not. I'm very very, very chill. So I think, and I over the years, I've learned how to kind of like tune out the things that I need to tune out. When you're acting, you know, you're on camera, you're, you know.
That's not an act.
It's not an act, but full personality out there. I know how to like, okay, like he's doing that. Let me do this. And I think it's just worked because we understand each other. Yeah.
I think we mesh really well. We've never really butt heads on anything.
I don't think we ever have.
No, I think we just it's a unique situation that I think works for us.
Yeah. And then the friend groups that we have is just, you brought me here and introduced me to everyone. And I've met the most amazing people here.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very thankful and grateful for that. And it's just, I think it's just because the friends that I'm closest with and that are in our circle are very, very genuine people. And I think and our friendships have lasted through everything because it is just pure, just like love and just heartfelt relationships.
Yeah. And you know, when you first moved here, I didn't know how to introduce you to people because I was like, do I tell them this is Mona Rhazi or do I say this is Mona Brown? Because if you've been following for a long time, Mona, your old Instagram was Mona Brown, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Why did you change your last name? Wait, you didn't legally change your last name. You just called yourself Mona Brown. Tell the people why you called yourself Mona Brown.
Because I was obsessed with Chris Brown.
Obsessed with Chris Brown, so you put his last name on your... Mona, I really like Eminem, but I don't have Maxx Shady as my Instagram name.
I understand that. But this started when I was back in Run It days. Like
in what?
Run It, like his first ever song that he dropped.
Sing some of it.
No, I'm not a singer.
Just sing like 10 seconds of Run It.
No, I'm not a singer. If you know Chris Brown, you know Run It.
Okay.
So, but I think I was maybe in middle school. So this at the time, like, I was probably like, how old are you in middle school? I don't know. But it was just like, oh my gosh, like that's my husband. And Mona Brown just stuck. It just stuck. And that has been my online name since middle school, and just kind of, it flowed. And
it's not your name.
I understand that. Well,
it just flowed. So I was like, fuck it.
So, yeah. And then I just changed it recently.
Why are you so obsessed with Chris Brown?
At the time, I was just his talent. I loved the way he sang, the way he danced, and he was like an actor. We don't got to go into Chris Brown, you know?
Mona's in love now, but she used to be in love with Chris Brown.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I changed my last, I put my last name to what it actually is.
Okay. Now, Mona, we got to talk about something. So when I wrote down this question of asking about Mona Brown, I was like, oh, is her Instagram still Mona Brown? I was like, no, it's Mona Rhazi. But on your Instagram, I noticed that I was like, she has monabrown.com. And I was like, what is that?
Yeah.
I clicked on it. You know where this is going?
Yep.
Mona.
Yep.
You have an OnlyFans?
Yes.
I just found this out 30 minutes ago.
Just 30 minutes?
I never knew this.
I could have sworn you known.
No.
Yeah.
When did that start?
June.
That's like a month and a half ago, 2 months ago.
Yeah, it's been very recent, very recent.
What do you do on there?
Nothing that I wouldn't feel comfortable with you seeing, honestly, or my mom seeing. It's just bikinis, lingerie.
I just had a whole OnlyFans chat with Jazzy. I don't need to have a full
No, you don't have to have a only.
Why'd you start?
Honestly, because
Am I not paying you enough?
It got to that conversation where we don't have to get into now. It's just like the overhead of Sour Strips is a lot. And at that point, we had that conversation is I can't afford to pay my employees, all my employees this amount. At that point, I was like, you know what? Okay. The
conversation we had was we'll talk about this for a little bit. As I've owned a business, what I pay people is a struggle because I don't know, it's not about the value that people bring, but I'm like, what can I pay people that is fair, that is also scalable as we grow? Because the average person who goes into any job, right? Generally you get like a 3 to 5% raise per year, right? Maybe 8%. I don't know the exact numbers. And that's kind of like you expect that. And with Mona, for example, when she started, was making kind of nothing. And I just, every time we'd have like a really big launch or maybe we'd have an event, I'd be like, here's a raise. And I was just kind of throwing them out. And it was probably like underpaying you at the time, very, very early on, because I didn't know what to pay people. I don't know when do I give bonuses? When do I give raises? How much do I give raises? Do I just do 3 to 5%? And I'm like, okay, as people evolve, like I want the ability to kind of grow. And the comment that she's talking about is that I was like, I can't afford to pay everyone a 6-figure salary. I was like, I wish I could pay everyone like $100,000 in this company, but we won't have enough money to grow the business.
And it was at that point where I was just like, you know what? So I can either sit here and say, okay, so then when? But it's just like, at that point, it was like a weird conversation because you had already taken off so much of my plate. So how am I going to ask for more when I'm doing less? So I was just like, you know what? Like now I know the business of OnlyFans, and it was always on my mind. It was always on my mind. And I think it was just like when we had that conversation, it was like, okay, like if I can't get it, I'm not going to leave this job. I'm not going to leave my position here. So what else can I do? I could start a business, but there's nothing that I'm passionate about that I would go in full force to do that. So it's like, I know this is going to make me money. So
you were looking for like another income source. Not that I don't feel that I'm underpaying anyone in this company. I try to be as fair as I can. And so started OnlyFans. I've never seen you promote it.
Yeah, it's just something because
just like if you find this link.
I think if you're looking for it, you know where to find it. It's just people who are in that.
Because I guess if you go on OnlyFans, you'd be like, I wonder if she has an OnlyFans.
Or it's just, the link is going to be in bio. If you're on Instagram looking for girls or men or women with OnlyFans, you know exactly where to find it, and that's going to be that. But also, it's just I think I was scared to promote it because I didn't know what you would say.
Me?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I think it's just like I've held like I handle so much of things I talk to a lot of important people. I don't know the people who follow me on Instagram. I don't know if the people I'm emailing about distributing and our customers, I don't know if they follow me on Instagram. I mean, I know that I know if you do because I've gotten DMs about it. So it's just, what is it going to look like as the person that they're having these business conversations with, that they can go see me on another side. So I didn't want to feel like I was disrespecting you and the company that we've built. Yeah.
Well, if anyone that worked on the other side, they'd have to pay to even see it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How you been liking it?
I've been making more than I make here.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, no. Wait. Because I clicked on, okay.
Just let it all out. I knew this was gonna.
I'm not even exaggerating, guys. I found this out 30 minutes before this interview.
I honestly thought you already knew because I'm like,
Why didn't you tell me?
Because like I
you're
said,
worried? Okay,
yeah, and it's just like I don't want you to think any differently, or I want you to think that like just because I'm doing this that I'm going to put less into my job, or I didn't want that to be a concern in what I do, because it has nothing to do with what I'm doing here. I still come here every single day,
right,
do my job, and I just did not want that to even just be a concern.
How much money are you making on OnlyFans?
Well, not promoting it, almost $10K a month.
What?
Yeah.
God damn. Really?
Yeah, and it's just like, I know that like if I put that shit out there, it's just gonna, but it's just also, it's like, it's not my main source of income, so it's not something that I'm too concerned about. It's there, like I said, if you want to find it, you know where to find it, but it's not something that I'm going out of my way in my everyday life to promote or to do.
So you're making like, you make like 10K a month, just extra without even promoting it. I've never seen you promote it.
Yeah, I don't.
Never mentioned it. $10,000.
Yeah, like I said, the people who are looking for it, they know where to find it.
What the fuck, Mona?
Yeah,
I'm all for it. I mean, I'm all for it.
Whew. Like I said,
no.
it's not my, I don't look at it as my main source. It's just something that like I know that I have like like I want to provide for my little sisters and my mom one day, and I just know that like there's something that I need to do I need to set my life up. If
I'll ask the same question that I asked Jazzy, not to this whole chat about this. We'll kind of wrap the OnlyFans chat up, but like, do you with Jazzy, when you started it, do you have boundaries that you've set, and do you think you'll ever cross those boundaries?
Like exactly what she said. Yes, there are boundaries, and there are times that you're like, fuck, like
I could make so much more. I could
make so much more. And just me promoting it, I can make so much more.
You're about to get some more money now from this.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's just like I said, it's not my main source of income. So
hey, Felix.
So promoting it wasn't on the top of my agenda. But there are and now when you hear these stories about women making hundreds of thousands a month, I believe it. Before I was just like, no, I believe it.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, I'm not.
Because you're like, if I'm making this, not promoting it, just posting this, imagine if I did this, and this, and promoted it hardcore.
Yeah, and it's just like I said, there's nothing that like if anything were to get leaked tomorrow, in my thing is just if Maxx were to see it, would I be okay?
He'd probably be like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does your boyfriend think about it?
That's the thing.
Does he know about it?
Yeah, of course.
Oh shit, I don't know. I was like, oh god damn, I'll cut this part out.
No. Oh hey.
Hey Fifi.
When I started, it was obviously a conversation. I don't think I told him. I was like, you know what?
Let him crawl around the table. He's fine. Was he all for it? Was he supportive or?
Yeah, at first he was just like, I don't know, because he told me, he's like, you are going to be labeled. If once it comes out, this is going to be what you're labeled as. And regardless of what you're posting, whether it's a selfie or a busting it wide open, this is going to be your label. And is this something that you're going to be okay with?
Are you fine with whatever you put on the internet being out there forever? Where you probably like, well, why don't we try it for 1 month, see kind of the way we make money make. Then you probably saw like the extra 10K or something, and you'd be like, fuck it.
Yeah, basically. Well, at first he was like, and I told him, I was like, I'm not asking you, I'm telling you this is what I'm going to do. And he was just like, well, shit, And so I started, and then like the first month I was like, this is really uncomfortable. Like it's really uncomfortable because I don't know who's buying this shit. I don't know if I'm seeing them every day at the gym. I don't know. And then I was just like, I'm gonna stop. And he's like, don't stop. He's just like, you're doing great. Like and it's just like you covered it in Jazzy's podcast. It's just like these people are like the things they say to you, and it is just kind of it's just like a shit, and you think long, like Jazzy went over everything. It's just like you think long and hard about it, and and then I was gonna stop, and he's just like, no, just see how it goes. Like you're not doing anything extreme. You're not doing anything that you're uncomfortable with, and if and when that time comes, we'll talk about it. But now he's just like, aren't you glad you didn't quit? I'm like, yeah.
Well, shit.
Yeah.
What's the first thing you're gonna buy with like this extra money?
It's not even about like I'm not.
You gotta buy something. Yeah.
I'm not doing anything that I wouldn't normally do. I don't want to do that. I'm not thinking of, this is just my savings. I don't want to live outside of my means that I'm already doing, because like that's not my goal with this.
Yeah.
You know, if I wanted to, I could have done a lot more already, but that's not my goal with it.
Do you think it's a long-term thing, or you're just like, hey, like I can make some extra money, who knows where it can go if it dies out, whatever?
Yeah, and that's just like, it's like I'm going to do it until I can, or until I don't feel comfortable, or until I feel like there's like a business venture I want to go on, or I don't know. But as of right now, it's just something that I'm just building a savings. And
well, I'm all for it. I mean, yeah.
Okay, well, thank you. That makes me feel better.
How long have you known me? How do you think I'd get like?
But I don't know, because I've mentioned it in the past. I mentioned like, fuck it, I'm gonna start OnlyFans. I'm gonna sell my ass on OnlyFans. And you said.
What did I say?
You said I would prefer if we don't do anything to put a bad name on Sour Strips.
When did I say that?
This is like about
I don't
a
think
year
I said
and a half.
that.
Yes, and that's all. I was just like, there goes that.
You know, as a business owner, I'll be honest with you though. I mean, I don't know what that line is. Mm-hmm. There's probably a line where things could be construed, you know, like looked at it, but you know, in my eyes, it's behind a paywall. People got to pay to. I don't know. It's just, yeah. I mean, surface level, I'm all.
Yeah, and that's what I said. It's
thumbs
just
up.
like there's nothing that I'm putting out there that I wouldn't feel comfortable. Like if all my shit got leaked tomorrow, I'm like, and you saw it, my mom saw it, anyone saw it, I'd be like, and what? Like, girls are posting worse on their Instagram.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Whew, glad that conversation's over.
Say what?
So I'm glad that one just is out. At some point, it was gonna come up.
Okay. Were you ever gonna just tell me, or just like when one day Max will find out?
I don't know. I thought that you already knew based on just like my followers is basically your fan base.
We talk about everything, Mona. You don't think we would have like chatted about it? Like if I knew, I wouldn't have brought it up.
I don't know, because it's just like, is that an awkward thing
I was
to
like,
bring
Mona,
up?
guess what I found out yesterday?
It's just like, is that like an awkward thing to bring up?
No, I mean, well, I guess it'd be more of it's like, would it be awkward to bring it up to your friend Max, or do you think it's awkward to bring it up to your boss Max?
Yeah, I think it's more awkward we're in a work setting every day. So I see you as my boss Max every day. You know, if we were outside and we were drinking, like, oh shit, Max, well, guess what? This round's on me because I just made 10K last month.
Okay. Well, Mona, hopefully you don't leave the position.
And like I said, that's not my intention. I still come in every single day, do my job.
I could understand if you did leave, if at some point you're like, Max, dude, I'm making like 50, 60K a month. I don't need to be doing these spreadsheets anymore.
No, I don't think it'll get to that point, but
sky's the limit.
It is, but I'm not gonna be finger banging myself on this thing.
You're not gonna be finger banging.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
That might be a little too. That might be a little extreme.
Yeah. I'm not doing that.
Even the Sour Strips characters would be like, what the fuck?
What the fuck are you doing?
I know. Okay, finger banging. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, Mona, I think this has been great. I have the last part of this, I got some user questions. We'll kind of like answer them kind of quickly. Okay. Not like one word. We can kind of talk about them because, you know, we got all the time in the world. Keep this podcast going. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. I want to put Fifi on the table for the last little part so we can kind of walk around. Hey, Fifi. Hey, Fifi. Oh, hello. Yeah. Okay. Mona, what was your first impression of me?
You're weird.
I'm weird? Yeah. Felix, don't do it. You have so much to live for. Don't jump.
Not that you're weird. It's just like, what the fuck? I was just like, who the fuck is this guy acting like this?
Acting like what?
You're wild. The first time I met you, I remember we were in the back of District Barbell and you opened, I think it was a box of Yeezys that you had just got. And you were like filming it. And I was like, who the fuck just films him opening a box of shoes?
Like, who cares about his shoes?
Yeah.
I know.
Like I said, I didn't know what that world was.
Least favorite thing of working with me?
I don't have one.
Doesn't have a favorite.
Least favorite, you said.
Favorite and least favorite.
Oh, my favorite thing, there's never a boring day. You have all the personality. And least favorite, I don't think there's no least favorite.
Do you think it's when can you tell when I'm like come in and I'm not in a good mood or stressed?
1,000%.
Where do you think most of my stress comes from? And I'll tell you, it's not from my relationship with Taylor.
No, it's the businesses. There's a lot of shit that like people don't see that, you know, probably people think that it's just endless amounts of money coming in, not knowing like all the random shit that we have to deal with throughout the day.
Well, see, the thing with, we'll get into that a little bit. Have we ever dated? No. That was the biggest question people ask forever. Have Mona and I ever dated, been a thing? Not even a little bit.
Well, that shit's shut down. You have Taylor now. That shit's all over. And now I haven't gotten that question. I got a
lot of questions on the thing. People still don't know. No, Mona and I never. Yeah. What is your cultural background?
I am Filipino and Moroccan.
Filipino and Moroccan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
But you're born in Idaho.
Yep.
Okay. So what part of your family's from there?
My mom is Filipina and my dad is from Morocco.
Where is Morocco?
In Africa.
Oh.
I'm African.
What?
Yeah.
See, I don't know. I'm really bad with geography, so I really. You're like, Max, for $1 billion, find Morocco on the map. I'd be like, I have no idea.
No.
And that's just like, if you were to say like, point out like New England.
I don't know where that's
at. Or England. I don't know. I don't even know. What does Australia look like? I have no idea. When Mona goes on vacation, who takes over her tasks?
I do.
Yeah. This is another kind of problem that this is something that this is more of like a business thing. Is I haven't really factored into the kind of contingency facts of like, okay, Mona handles all these admin tasks. When Mona goes on vacation, who does the admin tasks? Because we don't have someone else that she's taught how to do the systems of like Target, for example. Like I couldn't just take over. It was different if it's like manufacturer stuff or customer service, but that like Mona is the only one that can do that.
Yeah, if I were to drop dead tomorrow, I don't know how you guys get shipments.
Yeah, so yeah, that's something that we need to probably work on is make sure that someone else can do a little bit of everyone else's job. But so when you go on vacation, it's more of like, I try to make sure that you have the least amount to do, but like, I guess I try to be as lenient as possible with our schedules and whatever. And I hope that people are just like, enjoy working enough to be like, and it's weird to talk about because people probably like think that this is crazy of me to even think, but I'm like, people on vacation like is taking like 45 minutes to like bang out a couple emails, like, or to like set these shipments up on like Monday. Like, Mona, like, do you mind doing that when you're in Cabo?
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. It's just I don't think twice about it. It's just like when you're on vacation, not every moment of that vacation are you doing something. So it's just like, okay, I have some time after breakfast. Let me knock this out, get it out of the way, and then. But
that is also a boundary thing I need to work on because I think we should have systems and people in place. But again, it's like, what do I hire someone to just learn what you do in case you go on vacation? Like,
yeah, no, and that's the thing.
I don't know. Like,
but then it's just like it's not something that I don't dread it. I don't mind. Like I think it's just working with you for so long. It's just like, I know my tasks and responsibilities, regardless of if I'm here or on vacation, like this is what I need to get done and it'll get done.
Yeah. And it's also here that we don't have any, like, there's no set vacation days. There's no time out. It's like, if you go on a bunch of vacations, someone's like, hey, there's just certain tasks that if you are the only person that can do these,
make sure
we got to get them done or beforehand teach someone how to do it. It's something we need to work on. We need to do it. What did your parents think about you moving to Texas?
Nothing.
To like, hey, there's this YouTuber guy and he sells some like t-shirts and stretchy pants that he wears out in public.
I'm not really close with my family, so it was just kind of like, I'm gonna leave, and they're like, okay, like, are you gonna be okay? Like, are you gonna be okay? Basically, What are you gonna do? Okay, well, good luck.
Okay, send a postcard. Okay, what is frustrating about me?
What's frustrating about you? I think it's just, it's been better since you've been with Taylor, but when something goes bad, everything's ruined that day.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been better. But like before, if one thing got to you, it lit.
You think I brought the mood down?
But it was just like, oh shit, my YouTube's not going good. Well, now my fucking lunch is going to suck, So like,
yeah. The biggest stresses that I have in the business world is just really cash flow and like managing money. And every day, I'm like, we're swimming upstream and all of a sudden it's like, here's some crazy shit I didn't know I had to pay for. And it's like, I was like, when am I going to have the cash flow I see a lot of people who have businesses have. I'm like, and like, that's the most difficult thing. And I'm very open with you about money in the business, how much money, records, like money we're hitting for that month or that year, or how much we're spending. And that's something that, I don't talk about it with everyone. I don't talk about anyone besides you, because I'm so comfortable with kind of telling you. And I think you probably understand my stresses more than anyone because I vent to you because we're in the same office, same room.
So it's like I said, like if an outsider in were to look, they'll be like, well, why are you complaining about spending this much when you see the success of Sour Strips? And I think that also ties into me starting OnlyFans. Like I knew at the time the cash, like I know for a fact, and I see it every day. So it's just like, I love my job. I love what I do. I'm not going to leave just because right now I'm not getting XYZ. So it's like, I will find a way to make XYZ, but I will still do what I need to do here.
Mona's not underpaid, by the way.
It's just like, people always want more.
But you do want more. And do you find yourself, are you motivated by money?
No, because if I was motivated by money, then me moving here would not be a thing. Because I think when I moved here, I was like broke.
Yeah, and I wasn't paying you very much. I couldn't have paid you very much. It's like there wasn't enough.
So it's not even being motivated by money. I think it's just because I'm not spending the extra money that I'm getting. It's just making sure that I'm set in every way possible for my future. Okay.
How am I as a boss, business owner to employees?
You're very chill. The thing is, you're not really I don't want to say you're not a boss, but you don't put out you don't try to act like a boss. You are still very much a friend to all of us. When things kind of like, if someone's not doing what they need to do, okay, that's a different conversation. But by no means do I think that it's like you're a bossy person.
I kind of want, like, when I worked at a corporate job, and I'm sure everyone can probably relate to this, if they're like the owner or like the boss, like when they wanted to talk to you, Felix, you're blocking this camera. That's all right. When they wanted to talk to you, you'd almost get like nervous
scared,
did I mess up? I mean, when I worked a corporate job, if like the manager, who wasn't even like the boss, it was just my manager, wanted to talk to me, I'd be like, oh man, like what did I do? And I try to make sure that no one really feels like that. I think for the most part, I'm probably a fun guy, chill. But call me a mushroom because I'm a fun guy, But I will say, when things are fucked up, when people are messing up, when errors are being made, I do probably switch to a more stern, hey, like, why is this happening? How do we fix this? We need to not happen again, because generally when things are messing up, it's costing the business money. And I just try to make people aware of, like, I never like reprimand people. I never, I don't think I've ever reprimanded anyone. But it's more of like, hey, I'm fine with mistakes. I prefer if there wasn't, but like, I'm like, there only is a problem, I think, if mistakes are being repeated, because I'm like, why are they being repeated? So that's kind of, I think I'm a fun time. Yeah. No, I don't know. I'm not like probably the funnest, but
you're not bad.
What would you rate me on fun level out of 10?
Like 8.
8?
Yeah.
I'm going to work up to that 10. We already talked about when will Felix stop pooping inside. Has there ever been drama between us?
No.
No?
No. I feel like there's drama in like outside of but I feel like our circle and our team is so small that like we don't have drama. We talk about other people's drama. we don't do enough shit to have drama. Like, you have Taylor, you go home to Taylor, I have my, like, what drama are we gonna have?
No drama here. And kind of for the final question, Mona, what do you think is next for us? What do you see this world that you're in relation to me and these businesses? Like, what do you think is going to be next for us?
You've mentioned your Mexican restaurant.
I want to start a Mexican restaurant.
I 1,000% think and know that's going to happen. It's just kind of getting that process started. But for right now, I think our main focus is Sour Strips and doing the best that we can and expanding. And I just see sour strips right now.
Yeah.
And I don't think that we're nowhere close to where we can be and where we will be. So
what do you think 2 years from now? What do you think it's going to look like for sour strips?
I think that sour strips is going to get like bought out by like a huge company. And
you think?
Yeah, I think so. And then that's when you're gonna like retire and get a Mexican restaurant.
You never know. I don't know. What do you think Everforward's gonna be looking like? Do you think
I think we're gonna go through this launch this year, and then depending on what happens next year will determine if it's even worth it to continue.
Yeah.
And it's just because if we don't have everything lined up for next year, then we're already behind. So
we're probably already behind.
Yeah.
But the rest of this year, we have 2 exciting launches, which I'm very stoked about. A lot of cool stuff for the fall, and then the bags, backpacks. Kind of. I don't know. I get in my head a lot about Everforward.
Oh yeah, I'm sure, because it's something that you started with, so it's obviously like something you feel bad if you're not giving a full focus to.
I want to ask one more question. How do you think of me? And this podcast has been interesting because it's more of just like us chatting about our world rather than, which I meant to be like just focused on you, but I'm like everything, we're so kind of tied together. How do you feel of me, of someone who like I do so many different things rather than like the problem that we had with you is that like I was asking you to do too much and I was focusing and now like it makes sense for you to just focus on one thing. But like with me of social media Maxx and like doing sour strips and Everforward, like do you think that's like how I split up my time is like like good?
I don't think it's good or bad, but it's just you are passionate about YouTube and you are passionate about sour candy, so I could see where that is. But that's, again, you could see where your passion goes because that's what you're putting your time and effort to.
Yeah.
And that's what's thriving, your videos, and sour strips. So that's when it comes to like a you thing. It's just, am I ready to let Everforward, like this, I'm not giving it what it needs. Is it time? I don't think it's bad because you could be passionate about more than one thing. It'll be
if I'm not ready to let Everforward go. Yeah. If that day ever comes, it'll be a bittersweet day.
Yeah, I don't even know how that day would come, but I think that if you want to continue Everforward and make it be successful, that we need someone
to basically run it,
to do everything and make that be their main focus.
Yeah.
Just like how we have with sour strips. Everyone has their focus in the business. A
lot of times it's almost like the writing's on the wall. It's like, Max, why is sour strips so successful? It's like, well, I have a great team that knows exactly what they need to do. It's like, well, what's your team with Everforward? It's like you. Like it's just it's just me and someone helping with customer service and kind of starting to help with like a new warehouse search. But I'm like, it's like, why don't you just apply the same thing from sour strips, what you learned to Everforward? I'm like, I never thought about that. I never thought about just building a team because I was like, no, me and Mona can do everything.
Yeah.
Shit's crazy out here, Mona.
It's crazy.
But I'm excited for what the future holds for all of this stuff for everyone. It's going to be a sad day when you flap your wings and you no longer want to work with me. I'll accept it at that point, but I'll never be able to find myself another Mona. But don't you go leaving me anytime soon, because I'll find you. Okay?
Okay.
Well, I'm going to wrap it up here. Do you want to plug anything?
I ain't got shit to plug. No?
Nothing to plug?
You want to see me half naked? Go to my OnlyFans.
Link will be down in the description. When this episode goes live, I want you to tell me if there's an uptick.
I'll let you know.
Okay. Maybe lunch on you that day.
Whole office, let's go.
All right, guys. Well, that will wrap up episode number 15 with Mona. Started as a packing Everforward, then did everything. Now super focused. Still consider my right hand, and I would not. Everything that I'm doing, Mona, would not be where it is without you.
My life would not be anything without you. So.
Power bump.
Yes.
Boom. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure if you're on YouTube to leave a comment down below, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, notification bell, all that jazz. And if you're listening on your preferred podcast streaming platform, make sure you give us a review because we're a fun time. But you should be watching this on the tubes. Thank you so much for tuning in. Eat more sour strips and ever forward.
Woo!
Whew!
It's a good one.
That was a banger. Banger, I just met her.
Okay.
That was good. We answered a lot of questions.
Yeah. A lot.
You make $10,000, Mona? A month? Just consistently?
Is it still going?
Yeah, it's still going. But I mean, we'll shut it off.
We'll shut it off. Yeah, but okay, we'll shut it off after this.
You got something you want to say?
No, I don't want people to hear.
You don't want people to hear? Okay. Sorry, guys. Can't hear. Bye.
Bye.